Hello. I just put out a video about Debbie, the same progressive. I'm going to put out my own videos now, and I'm going to try and make them as professionally as I can, which isn't very professional, but you'll bear with me while I try and do this properly. I'm actually looking at a list of things that I've written down. 53 years ago, when I was 4, I used to wait for buses, and the buses are no different now than they were then. They're buses. You get on the bus, you buy the ticket, you show the ticket, you go to where you want to go. Now that was 53 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that the buses weren't much different than that 40 years before that. So we've got phones, we've got computers, we've got stuff that can make your life easier, but we still have to get buses. We were also doing that with trains. The trains ain't much different. In fact, they don't look much different. Some technology is being held from us, and some technology is being given to us, like this phone that I'm using now. This is very good, it's very clever. But we should be able to say, if you want to go to Manchester City Centre, you should be able to grab a chair or something and say, right, I'm going to sit on that chair, and it's going to take me to Manchester City Centre, and I should be there in about 2 minutes. But we're not. And I used to do a man and van thing where I used to pick stuff up from people and move it to their new flat or their new house or whatever. And this fella said to me, haven't you noticed? I'm 45 now, he said. When I was 5, I was watching the telly and they had these adverts for starving children 40 years before. And I thought, well, he's right. And they've still got them today. And I could say the same. But I'm 57. And when I was a kid, I was watching adverts for starving African children and starving Asian children and children getting diseases and everything else 50 odd years ago. Didn't Bob Geldof do a massive concert? 2 massive concerts, if I remember rightly, one in the 1980s and one in the 1990s or 2000s or whatever, and they raised billions. So what happened to that? The Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation was set up as part of the Haiti disaster. They raised billions. So what happened to that? Now this world is messed up. It's totally messed up. They didn't get their billions in Haiti, and they didn't get their billions in Africa, or otherwise we wouldn't see any starving children in Africa. We wouldn't see any starving children in India or Asia or whatever. Right? Also, I've seen this thing, cancer research. What a joke. People get dressed up in pink. They run 30, 40, 50 miles or 16, 26, whatever the marathon is. They do a boat paddling, they do swimming, they do cycling and everything, and they raise a load of money and they give it to cancer research or Macmillan Cancer or whatever cancer charity. They give it to them. Now I know, and you should know, really, what I've been learning about, because I'm starting to research cancer for myself. Well, I've been starting to research it for about 3 years now, and this is what I've got. This is my latest book. I've read it from page to page. I know how to make cannabis oil and everything now, and cannabis oil can cure cancer. It can cure it. It's hemp oil, and the FDA have now illegalised it because they realise that the pharmaceutical industry is going to lose a lot of money if they don't legalise it. Illegalise it, should I say. So don't buy their rubbish. Don't run around in circles. Also, Macmillan Cancer, coffee morning. That's the biggest joke going. Most of the people that are going to go to them coffee mornings have already had cancer. And what's the biggest restart of cancer you can have? If you've had chemotherapy or if you've had radiotherapy and you've got sick and you lost your hair and you're feeling not very well and you go to a Macmillan Cancer charity event, you eat a cake. And what's full of fucking sugar? A cake. Jesus Christ. Sugar is the worst thing for cancer because it starts it back up again. So what they're doing is they're promoting the fact and trying to kill you as well. Because chemotherapy, in most cases, will kill. In some cases it doesn't. It cures you. Right? In most cases, it will kill you after a few years. So it's total rubbish. You'll have to bear with me here. Oh, and this advert for African girls. This girl is 8. She will marry a man twice her age. So what's he? 16? It's ridiculous. And we all fall for it. We all fall for it. We don't think of a man twice her age as being 16. All right, a 16-year-old boy shouldn't marry an 8-year-old girl, but that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? Also, I've got a few things written down here, and I'm trying to make head and a tail of them. Right? I started as a postman around here. 15 years ago, I started as a postman around here. It must be 15, 16 years ago. And this place was a nightmare. And if I walk out of that door and down the street now, it's still a bloody nightmare. Nothing's changed. Nothing changes. We've just given new phones or new computers or whatever. I was standing in Holland and Barrett the other day. And talk about getting all your information of you. The person in front of me was buying something from Holland and Barrett. And they said, have you got a Holland and Barrett, whatever card it is, special card that we can give you points on? And they said, no, I haven't got one. And they said, would you like one? And they said, oh, yes, please. And they said, can we have your postcode? And he gave them the phone. And can we have your phone number? And they give them the phone number. And you think, you've just given away all your details there, sweetheart. And you're going to get a card for it now. And now, that's on their computer base. That's privacy. That's got nothing to do with Holland and Barrett. They just pass it on to the privacy security agencies. And the security agents, oh, there's Mrs. Such and Such, and she lives at such and such. So if we have any problems with Mrs. Such and Such, we know where to reach her, don't we? Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have to say on the subject at the moment. I'm going to make a few videos. Yeah, and there's another thing. Chemtrails. A lot of people don't believe in chemtrails, but I do really think they are. Honestly, I think they're weather manipulation rather than trying to experiment on us and spray us or whatever. If you walk out in the clear blue sky some days, you'll see lines and lines and lines and planes flying across the skies and everything else, spraying out shit out the back of it. Now, some people say that's contrails. Now, I used to think it was contrails, and I didn't think there was anything wrong about it. But as the years have gone on, and the more I've watched it, I thought, they're spreading out them contrails, them chemtrails, should I say, and they're making clouds. And then by the afternoon, the sky is white, and it's pissing a rain. So I can only think that they're trying to cool the planet down. But if they're trying to cool the planet down, why can't they tell us about it? Why can't they put it on the BBC? And that's another thing I'll talk to you about, the BBC. What a load of shit that is. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I think I've had me say. I've done 10 minutes of this now, so peace.